This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
It is indeed. There's no question about it, ladies and gentlemen. God, it's Thursday already. Was it the 15th of the month? Yes, it's the 15th. You believe that February's more than half over already?
Oh, there we go. That's crazy to me because I feel like January took forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I know February is a couple days shorter. I mean, but we're already halfway through, over halfway through.
Yeah. No, it's been just flying by. I agree with you, Tom.
You know what's so great is yesterday I talked to Catherine. I said, I'll be right back. She goes, where are you going? I said, I'm going to run to the florist and buy you some flowers. She goes, do not buy me any flowers. I said, why not? She said, Ethan will be here for another 10 days, and there is no way flowers would ever survive him in the room. And I said, well, I'll buy you the flowers in 10 days then, okay?
So you didn't make the trek yesterday?
I did not go and do the flowers yesterday, but we did. Andy had to pick something up at the hardware store, so it was about a 1.5 mile walk for me there and back, so got about 3 miles in doing it. But Ethan was with us in a stroller, and this one guy, just the nicest guy in the world, is trying to entertain Ethan while Andy's getting his business done, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. So he walks over with a drill and he looks at Ethan. He goes, "Listen to this." He goes, "Eee." Ethan went psychotic. He's like, "Ah!" He had no idea what the hell that was. Yeah, he did not like that drill in his face. I'll tell you that. He lost it. But what the hell? So a lot of things happened. God, we had so much stuff. There's no way we can cover all this stuff in just one day, no doubt about it. But did you see? Let me ask you a question. If there was one broadcast company in the United States you could work for, what would it be?
Ooh, I feel like I have to say Hubbard Broadcasting.
There are two reasons you have to say Hubbard Broadcasting. What do you think, Tevin?
Well, damn, now I feel bad because I wasn't going to say Hubbard Broadcasting, but you know what? We'll say Hubbard Broadcasting as well. But if it's not Hubbard,
KMOJ's not even on anymore, is it? Don't give me that.
I think we are, but I would do no offense to anybody at KMOJ. I don't want to work at KMOJ.
Say whatever you
I was going to go like big, like an ABC type of place that has multiple stations and TV and all that.
That's a good one. That's got like it's ABC and then it's
also
got
ESPN
and like Disney's all encompassing.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah, but you're with the Hubbards and they're ABC.
Oh, so then dream job already. Perfect.
There we go.
So it's already a dream job. The reason I bring this up is, did you see who bought Odyssey Broadcasting?
No, I did not.
You ain't gonna believe this one. First of all, the father, Mr. Fields, and I went into the National Radio Hall of Fame on the same day, so I met him. Nicest guy, smartest guy in the world. Met his son, who's an arrogant prick. He died. His son takes over. They are now $400 million in debt. And you know who, well, they're more than that, actually. They're billions of dollars in debt. But you know who bought in for $400 million? George Soros. You think that's good news for America?
No.
Oh.
That was the last name I thought you were going to say. Yeah. I thought.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know who I was expecting, but that was not.
It was not.
That's not what I was expecting.
Can you imagine? This is a man who destroyed Hungary's economy, and Americans can't stop kissing his ass and inviting him to be part of their operation because he's got billions of dollars. Once again, it's all about the money.
Yeah, there should be some sort of law, it feels like, that politicians shouldn't be able to purchase into broadcasting or newspapers because it feels like a heavy conflict of interest.
Right. And I suppose you would consider him to be a politician because he never shuts up about politics.
Yeah, I throw him in there with everybody else.
Yeah, that's very true. What a prick. But in any case, the only concern I have there is I have a couple of really good friends that work over there. You guys know that Chad Hartman's a really good friend of mine. He's still working over at CCO, and the general manager is a very nice guy. I actually talked to him about working there, but then the younger Fields go, he doesn't agree with our politics, so he can't. Oh, so I have to agree with everything you think in order to work for you. You'd be the last guy I'd want to work with. If I have to agree with your politics, you could take those and put them where the sun don't shine, as they used to say back in the day. I just couldn't believe I said, and then I saw also that there's another outfit. And again, I have many friends over there, so this is tough to report because I have, Meat Sauce and we've been friends since he was 16 years old, for Christ's sake. He was working at the cigar bar when he was 18. I've known him forever. You got, Common Man's a great friend of mine. I got a bunch of friends over there, right?
Yeah.
Mark Rosen, obviously. Louis Nanny, I think, still pops on there once in a while.
Yep.
They are now $20 billion in debt. What's going to happen in the next 36 months?
This is where finances escape me because
yes, exactly.
in my head, when you have that much debt, you just you no longer own a business. You no longer have anything running. You can't pay anyone. You can't do anything. So why are operations up? That's where it escapes me because I'm just like, you're negative. Right. Everything is done.
And you're really negative. It's not like, hey, we missed rent this month. We're going to be a couple weeks late. When you start adding billions to the total, somebody's got to shut down shop and we got to start this over again. You got to sell it to somebody.
No question. Well, most of this stuff are filthy politicians and hedge funds. That's what it's all about, right? I mean, our former place of employment, that was pretty much a hedge fund, wasn't it? Over there at the Shithole Central.
You would know better than us, I think. But from what I've heard you say and others say, it was more ran like a hedge fund than an actual business.
God, it's just unbelievable. Well, their stations are in 10th and 13th place. Nice job you're doing there, sister. Glug glug.
It's tough. It's tough to be at the bottom of the market in an industry that's already struggling to begin with. Yeah,
that's very, very true. And I hate to see it because, like I said, I have a lot of friends. I have friends at pretty much every radio company. And honest to God, that's when I got fired over at KQRS, I talked to a bunch of different people. There are people I'd like to work with. It didn't really work out because Dan Seaman got a hold of me and Ginny Hubbard, and the three of us went to lunch, and I said, I get to go back to the place I started to finish up my career. I mean, what a great opportunity that was for me.
Fantastic.
And they don't have any debt. So that's the other part that I kind of like. The Hubbards have $0 of debt. I feel comfortable with that, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. And it's not even like anybody that starts a new job, I feel like that's what they should ask their employer. Like, what's your guys' 5-10 year plan? Like, how long has this company been here? How long is it going to be here? Like, I'm not just jumping on a ship that you guys are going to sell off in a couple minutes and we're all looking for a new job anyway.
That is pretty much true. I could ask you guys a question because I know we got to get going. Oh, God, maybe I'll ask a question later because we got to get moving here, I suppose. We can't have Judd getting on late because he'll get all steamed at us,
The last time he got on late, he just cussed me out so bad, and I cried.
You ripped me a new one off there. I don't want to see it happen again.
He puts on this fake happiness and nice guy act. Don't be
as soon as he gets out of his comfort zone, it's danger time for everybody involved.
So I guess I'll close with this. I said I'll bring up that other subject later, but as I said, I have many friends at all these different stations and all the rest of it. I feel really bad because I don't see how you're going to recover from that much debt. How in the hell is that ever going to happen?
No.
Unless, of course, the taxpayer is forced to pay it, which with Soros involved, I wouldn't doubt it. But what the hell? So I would like to thank all these companies for not hiring me because I ended up at the one place who's not in debt. So that's good, right?
Yeah.
We'll take a break. Be right back. Even though you guys both badmouthed him, I'm going to bring Judd on anyway in just a couple of minutes. Okay?
I guess.
Yeah.
He goes, I guess. Have you enjoyed Minnesota's non-winter this year? Well, other than last night, of course. You want to enjoy the warmth wherever you want, and, of course, whenever you want. Two Minnesotans can help you live that dream. Matt Carlson from Realty One Group Destination, Key West, grew up in Litchfield, Minnesota. Still love the Main Street in Litchfield. I love that place. Started out helping his friends find homes locally and in Florida, and now can help you. If you considered living in the warmth of Florida, now is the time to reach out to your new friend in Realty, and that would be Matt Carlson. It's a buyer's market now, and your Minnesota friend Matt can help you with a new home here or in the Florida Keys. I'm having lunch with him in a couple of weeks. Looking forward to that. And if you need some guidance with financing, Kristen Eklund from Coast to Coast Mortgage can help. Kristen is Matt's preferred lender, can finance anywhere in Florida, and like Matt is one of us, as she hails from the Sartell, Alexandria area. So if you're looking at a new home in Minnesota, or maybe that second home or retirement place in Florida, trust your new local friends and contact Matt and Kristen. Visit Key One West Realty. That's One Key West. I did that wrong in the first place. Let me say that again. Visit onekeywest.com. That's onekeywest.com. Or call Matt at 612-791-2345, 612-791-2345, and work with local professionals that you can trust.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
You horn. I'm going to do that every time I talk to him. I'm going to go, Bradshaw and Bryant. I'm going to sing to him. What do you think? Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all of your continued support. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever when you use promo code TOM, and you get free shipping on your entire order. Get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets for only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers, 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. That's pretty low, man. Everything is on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb. They have dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146 or use promo code TOM, and you get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146 or go to mypillow.com, and please do me a favor and use promo code TOM.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Catherine's timing is always magnificent. I just love that. I read 2 commercials live on the air, and as I was getting to the very end, she slammed the door behind me. Did you hear her go? Oh, she came in. She didn't leave. She came back in. I saw her just walking past. There's Jude. Judy walking by. So, Judd, what's the latest, Pally?
Well, first of all, I'm a little bit late to be put on, so I'm going to fault AJ here. Not Tevin so much. I'm going to fault AJ here. Yep, no question about it.
I understand. Yeah, you were 3 minutes late. You're absolutely right.
Believe it?
All you ever do is give.
Yep, and all we do now is win, because the Wild one beat the Coyotes in Arizona last night, and so now they've won, 4 consecutive games. They're now within 3 points of a playoff spot. The Wolves are red hot. As we've always said, there's too much good in sports here. We're spoiled.
Yeah, that's what we've
always spoiled. All these titles, these teams never lose. There's too much good in sports. I mean, who knows? The Twins, probably 105 wins at this point.
There we go.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Twins' first game I see is on February? It's a week from tomorrow. So what is today?
24th.
So the 16th would be the 23rd. I think Friday night, the 23rd.
Yeah. You know what's funny is I came across
right?
I came across a spring training schedule a couple days ago from 1980. Spring training game started on March 8th or 9th.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. They used to go down there and just kind of hang out, did they not? Let's get that straight, though, Tevin. They do have a game Friday, don't they, Tevin?
From what I'm seeing is they play the Pirates on Saturday the 24th at 12:05.
Oh, because MLB Network said they have a game Friday night against, can't remember who it's against. But we'll have to check on that and see which one is accurate because, it's either Friday night or Saturday, a week from tomorrow, not not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. Or if that's wrong, then it'll be definitely Saturday. Looking forward to. I love spring training, always have. Although I do remember one time there was some real estate guy that booked all the hotel rooms and all that stuff. He sponsored the whole trip down to that was Orlando at the time when they were at Tinker Field.
Yep.
And we get there, and I go to my room, and I can't. The key doesn't work. And I'm like, well, what is this all about? I just got my key down. Why does my key work? So I go down back down to the desk, and they said, oh, sorry about that, but Bill Berditzman, the guy who's picking up the tab, decided he wanted your room. He just took my room.
Wow.
Like, oh, okay.
Was it sweet or what?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
It was a very nice.
Bill
setup.
Bill probably decided he deserved it. He'd worked so hard to book the rooms. You wanted a suite, I guess.
Then I said, Bill, how'd you like to try to get my foot out of your ass? You jerk. I mean, he takes my room.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds like you might have got the room back with that approach, though.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's hard to sleep. It's hard to sleep with a foot in your ass. Yeah.
It really is. It's very difficult.
Tinker Field was great, though. I went there a
it.
couple times as a kid for spring training with my dad. Took me, and I was actually in the stands the day they came on and announced that Ronald Reagan had been shot.
Oh, there you go. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. God, that was back then. What was the guy's name? He died now, I know. The other guy that was shot in that encounter.
Oh, James Brady,
James Brady, yeah, there you go.
Who was injured badly by that, yeah.
Yep. Shot him in the eye or something, didn't they?
Yeah, that was brutal. But that was back before, that was long before cell phones and ways to keep a track of things. So they just came on and announced, can I have your attention, please? The president of the United States has been shot. I think they said transported to the hospital. And so you either left the stadium to check out what was going on, or you watched the rest of the ball game, and then you turned on the news on the radio back then, because you couldn't exactly get the phone out and be like, oh, I'll check it on the phone.
Yeah, let's not worry about a thing, ladies and gentlemen. Now I have to run something by you. Because I assume this is a sport. I've played it, but I guess it's a competition now. 2 kids just got the first scholarships to play Division I cornhole. Colleges are now doing cornhole scholarships, are they?
It's been a big thing. You'll see it a lot of times in the summer on ESPN when they have nothing else to air. It'll be, like the ESPN Ocho type thing, and they're all playing cornhole. But to have a scholarship available is wild. Do you get to drink beer on that scholarship while you're playing cornhole? Because I feel like that's the only way to properly play.
I'm sorry, but where I grew up, we didn't have that game, so a cornhole was something totally different.
Yeah, and it's bags. That's what we call it. It's bags.
Yeah,
bags.
not
Yeah,
cornhole. Bags.
How is that a college sport that's got scholarships?
well,
It's
exactly.
that NIL money, baby.
Yeah.
NIL.
That's a Saturday before a college football game with beers in the front yard of the frat.
Right, while you're tailgating. Absolutely.
Those guys just show up for the tailgate and just hustle people for 3 hours and then go into the stadium for your money.
Yep.
Could you imagine being a more quote unquote legitimate sport that gets cut from a school, and then you've got cornhole buddy over here getting a full ride scholarship?
Yep.
Like we had to cut women's swimming, but the cornhole team is still here.
Oh, I don't think they're cutting women's swimming anymore.
Oh.
That ain't gonna happen.
No, but they'll cut men's sports. What?
Absolutely.
Did you guys see? I believe it's the next Olympics that flag football is going to be an Olympic sport.
Yeah, I saw that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not going to be any NFL players, I don't believe, because they have an actual flag football league that they'll probably recruit players from. But could you imagine like Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill rolling up to play, China in some flag football? It'd be an absolute bloodbath.
Can they just give the U.S. the gold now?
Yeah,
Like-
nobody's beating us.
Who else plays that?
It's flag football, you guys. You're missing the greater point. Why is flag football an Olympic sport?
Why? That's
Like
awesome.
The Olympics used to be, as Tom will explain, the Olympics used to be this. I mean, I was not a huge fan, but it used to be these, sports that were Olympic sports. You had your, track and field.
You're wrestling.
You had, wrestling, and now it's flag football. It's unbelievable the amount of crap they have put into the bag of the Olympics and been like, this is an Olympic sport. These are the Olympics.
You know the one I always wanted to do, but I probably would have been too big a sugar tit to actually do it?
What's that?
The luge, baby.
Yes.
Holy Hannah.
That's the head first one.
Exactly.
You're laying down on the.
Isn't it?
I think you're head first on a little board.
I thought they lay back for that.
They lay back.
Luge is backwards. Skeleton. That's
Yes.
the.
Skeleton is forward.
There you go.
Because that's what you're going to be if you take one bad spill. Just a skeleton.
He'll be a skeleton.
Yes.
Man, have you ever seen a live luge? I saw it
No.
once. That thing is moving so fast. You literally can't believe that it could go that fast.
Well, yeah, that and like bobsledding, kind of the same vein.
Yeah.
But yeah, my sport was always speed skating. When Apollo Anton Ono was just dominating men's speed skating,
sure,
I was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. I want to do that.
Apollo Ono. God, I forgot all about him. Haven't heard that name in a long time.
I go back to Eric Heiden.
Eric Heiden, sure.
1980.
Jesus.
That's a long time ago. You know what? I think the only one that I might have the guts to try, I probably wouldn't, is bobsledding. Like, there's no way I'm gonna sit on a board by myself and try to navigate those turns. Bobsledding, though, which I'm sure is incredibly difficult, has always looked cool, and at least you got a little bit of protection with the actual bobsled.
Yeah, Cool Runnings made it look pretty easy. If the four Jamaican guys can do it.
If John Candy can get those guys going, I can do it.
True. I will tell you though, there's a bad side to it because I went to school with a kid named Al. I won't give his last name because I'm kind of ratting him out.
Oh.
He thought it was a good idea to get a sled and go down a ski jump.
Ooh.
Not a good plan the way it worked. A ski
jump?
Yes. And I mean a real ski jump, not a little short one. This thing was a real ski jump.
Oh, my God. That's craziness.
It's like, Al, when you leave the final lip of that jump, you're headed straight up into the air about 50 feet, and that 50 feet coming back down ain't going to be a whole lot of fun, when I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Jesus. I will never forget that. And then, of course, they burned the thing down about 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
The ski jump got burned to the ground, baby.
Yeah, Al, that sounds like a good idea right up until the point where you leave the ski jump. And then that's a lot of regret kicking it.
The ski jump got burned?
Yeah, they burned it to the ground. It was a wooden ski jump back when I was probably 16, something like that. Yep, no longer there. It's now always was the 10th hole at Theodore Worth Golf Course, but in the winter they used the 10th hole because you had to hit it up the hill. So you come down the hill and ski jump. Yeah, they must have burned. Yeah, that thing probably burned to the ground almost 50 years ago. But I'll never forget seeing it, though. It's like, hey, I think the ski jump's on fire.
Wow.
This is North Minneapolis, Tom. Pay attention. But in any case, so we got good hockey. We got good basketball. We got the Twins coming up in about 7, 8, 9 days, somewhere in there.
Yep.
The Vikings do anything we should know about?
No. They will eventually here. So the combine is late this month, and then free agency starts, I believe it's March 13th is the date. So things will, as far as like the Kirk Cousins storyline, that's going to heat up here in the next few weeks, which will be, is he coming back? Is he going to leave? Are they going to still be talking? So there actually is a lot of football stuff around the corner, but that's pretty quiet right now. And Twins pitchers and catchers did start workouts yesterday, and so we're in that ramp up period to what you're talking about with games in about a week and a half or so.
Yeah, looking forward to. I love spring training. Well, I love baseball anyway. I'm a huge fan of baseball, which is kind of interesting because I was much better at football than I was at baseball because I was not very good at baseball. I think it was because when I was 11, I got hit in the head with a bat. That might have something to do with it.
Yeah, that'd be unpleasant.
Well, I still got the two. You could still feel the 2 cracks on my skull.
Jeez.
Well, it was not a fair fight. Let me put it that way. But in any case,
it sounds like it was not.
It was not. But the funny thing about it is, it changed my life forever because the feeling that I have in my skin is nowhere near as intense as most people. So I can still feel things, but not to the level that you guys do. Little brain adjustment with that baseball bat.
Yeah. Readjust your tolerance to pain.
Yeah,
with spring training, is it as much the wild, wild west as you make it seem to be as far as with GMs wheeling and dealing and we're going to trade you this guy for this guy, or is that all overblown, Judd?
It's not as much as it used to be. Now the Twins have had a habit at times of making some impact moves. And there's actually a bunch of guys still on the market now because the amount of teams that were impacted by their cable and satellite deals being like yanked out from under them or had to negotiate new deals. A lot of guys weren't signed because the Twins are one of several teams that decided that if they didn't know what their TV revenue was going to be, they were going to cut back. So this actually could be a pretty fun March, and I think the Twins very well could make one more move for pitching.
Love it.
I won't be absolutely shocked.
I love that whole idea. There's no question about it. Well, like I said, I get excited every year. Well, first of all, growing up in Minnesota, when you heard the word baseball in February, you're like, oh my God, this is coming to an end sometime in the next 90 days. That's pretty much what it was,
Yep.
you know.
Exactly.
But I look forward to I love watching my Twins play some baseball, man. There's no question about that. Everything else good in life?
Everything else is fantastic. Everything else is absolutely fantastic. So no complaints from here. It did snow, so I was out shoveling just now.
Right.
But I think we also dodged quite a bullet so far since it's February and this was our first substantial snowfall, and it's still not that bad.
So, final question for AJ and Tevin. How are we going to get by for almost 5 days without Judd Zulgad? How can it happen?
I mean, I think we just got to fake the enthusiasm when Phil jumps on, because it otherwise will make him feel bad. But it's going to be a long weekend, till Tuesday. That's for certain.
Well, the thing is, Tevin, we might have to actually run into Judd.
Oh,
he's going to be at the
that's
X
right.
on Saturday.
Yeah, Judd, we get to be like you and, hang out at the Wild game.
Oh, you're going to be in the suite.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll come down and say hi.
Yeah, swing on down.
Grab some of the free food. I mean, say hi.
Yeah, there you go. One thing I've learned with the Hubbards, you won't be grabbing any free beer. I can guarantee you that. They're not big on that. I found out very quickly after I bought a case the last time.
Yeah. Well, and the beer in those suites can tease you because it's there, but the door can be locked, and so you're like, I really wish I could get at that one.
Well, have a magnificent weekend, you Hun Yucks. So that game is on Saturday?
Yeah, 4:00, Buffalo Sabres.
God. Well, that'll be a ball. That is a magnificent arena. One thing I got to tell you, our arenas in this state are phenomenal. God, they're good.
Yep.
Right?
As soon as the Wolves building is replaced, we will be in great shape. And believe me, that's coming next. Yeah, Target Field's great. Obviously, the Viking Stadium is state of the art.
Yep.
And the X is 20 some odd years, 24 years old, and it's still
now
they're trying to get significant upgrades. You won't be surprised by that, but it's still beautiful.
It is indeed. Well, have a magnificent weekend.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you on Tuesday, pal.
I'll talk to you all later. Bye.
We'll be right back right after this, ladies and gentlemen. When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert. When it comes to fixing your car, you judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert. I said my expert, and he should be yours too. Yeah, I'm not kidding. You guys should sign on with Josh Arnold because he's phenomenal. Plus, he's a great guy anyway. I told you that before. I'm not going to tell you somebody's a great guy if they're not. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market, the economy. He knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
Recently, Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC was contacted by a company that does on-site sales. Jim was confused.
Wait, they don't know anything about us, our staff, our reputation, most importantly, our customers.
Hey, pal, no problem. We do them all over the country. You know, get the manager off the roof sale, inflatable gorilla sale, and our favorite, the 13-hour sale with a giant clock that goes to 13. Urgency, baby. We bring our crew because, well, your people are, let's just say, a little laid back.
And the pricing?
Nothing special, sport.
But Jim thought we price competitively every day. Our prices are special. We definitely don't need these guys. But sale does convey some urgency, so we made a bold decision for his fine dealerships.
Announcing the Valley Buick GMC 365-day sale. And we can even extend it a couple years or so.
I got the air dancer guy, scratch offs, plastic keys, bubble machine.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley or Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Hurry.
I love that. Matter of fact, the last time we went to the suite over there to see the Wild, Jim Paul was there. I've known Jim for about 7,000 years. Great guy. In addition to having the best selection in town, K&L Surplus and Ammo also can help you sell your firearms safely and worry-free. If you've inherited a collection of firearms from a loved one and don't know what to do with them, or if you have guns you are no longer using, call Jim at K&L Surplus and Ammo. Jim can help you sell those firearms safely through consignment and auction. I know Jim. He's extremely knowledgeable. Will help you get top dollar. That's very important. He will help you explore all the options and take the work and stress off your shoulders. K&L Surplus and Ammo is on Lake Drive in Lana Lakes and open Tuesday through Saturday. You can also visit them online at www.klgunstore.com.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
I like how we have that screech just before I say, Channel 5's Chris Egert is brought to you by Mr. Money Talk Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation. Like I said, a free 48-minute evaluation, 952-925-5608. And now the lovely and talented Chris Egert with the news. What's happening, homie?
Good morning, Tomas. Good morning, Tevin. AJ, I'm glad you got the memo on the blue checkered shirt today.
Yeah, look at that. We're a lumberjack and we're okay.
Yeah. I knew you had the blue rocking today. I just wanted to kind of match that suit, and
that makes the eyes pop.
These other two need to get with the program. That's what I need.
Yeah. Well, look at the top two. Black
Yeah,
shirts.
you guys look the same.
She settled down.
Weird. So, Tom, how many times have you been in the Hubbard suite at a Wild game?
Once.
You had to guess. Once?
Yeah, once. It was
you
this
were
year.
away from the company for a number of years.
Yeah, I left in 1975. So, yes. It's been
The X wasn't even a thing. We were watching the North Stars. So I gotcha.
I will never forget that. I won't say, because I liked the general manager. He was fun to go to dinner with. First name was Jack. He was just a great guy. But I was a part-time employee making $12,000 a year, $12,000 a year. And he calls me and he goes, Tom, we're going to make you full-time. I said, oh, thank you, man. That's really nice. And he goes, here's what we got to do, though. I hope you understand, because insurance will be involved, health insurance. We're only going to be able to pay you $11,000 a year. I said, you want me to work full-time and you want me to take a $1,000 a year pay cut? That's why Uncle Tommy ended up at WDGY about 3 days later.
I did that too. I accepted my first TV reporter job. My news director at the time, who's no longer with us, printed out the business cards. It was KDLT in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I was going to graduate right from college.
Ooh.
Boom. Go straight to my job. Ideal situation, right? I think the salary was somewhere maybe $13,500 or something a year. And I got lured into the all the big money offered by this video production company, which I think paid $15,500 or something. And so I took the job at the video production company, and I called the news director and told him, and of course he was pissed. And then after 2 months at the video production company, I was like, oh my God, this sucks. This is so boring. I can't believe I'm doing this for an extra $2,000 a year or whatever. Called the news director back. He's like, I kept your business cards. I knew you'd be back.
We got very, very similar lives. There's no question about it. I just, honest to God. What you guys remember the first time you were ever fired from a job? Because I do remember the first time I was ever fired. You guys have a memory of that?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't include today.
Not today. Then
yes. Kevin, the day's young.
You're right. Yeah, you know.
What's your best firing job story, Tom?
I was a busboy and a dishwasher at the Garden Room in Donaldson's department store, downtown Minneapolis. Kitty corner from Dayton's. I worked at Dayton's too later on in life. but I was working as a busboy and a dishwasher at Donaldson's Garden Room. I was in the locker room getting ready to go, and the general manager, who was kind of a hoity-toity kind of guy, he thought he was a very big deal. And I'm not talking about Eddie LaHood was my boss, and by the way, I loved Eddie. Eddie was a great guy. But so I get there, and his boss, Eddie's boss, I can't remember his name, otherwise I'd tell you. Now, you have to remember something. I'm 16 years old. As bad as I am now, can you imagine the jackass I was when I was 16 years old? I mean, think about it.
Yeah, most people are pretty full of piss and vinegar at age 16. So I
lost the job 5 seconds later because he walked into the locker room, looks at me and goes, "Mr. Barnard, we've got 5 after the hour." And I said, "Oh, do we?" Whoops, that was the end of that job.
That
Goodbye.
Well, he was a perceptive guy. It's not like you told him to go F himself or something.
No.
I mean, you were pretty subtle about it, but
No, that's when I went over and worked at Dayton's. And so I cannot tell the story on the air because of what the woman said, but she asked for a certain nut. I believe they're Brazil nuts is what they're called, only she didn't call it a Brazil nut. She used this very, very negative term for them. And at 16 years old, I turned and looked like, are you insane? I will never forget that. That's stuck in my head forever because it was extremely...
I heard my deceased uncle, who's been gone now for quite some time, I heard him say that word for that nut that you're talking about when I was a little kid. And I was like, what? Like, I could not believe.
Well, look, I'll do the full reveal. What the word was, honky toes. That's what he called them. I just made that up. But anyway, let's move back.
I didn't know that was a thing until that very moment. And my
nobody did.
My eyes were open to old school racism and the classifications of nuts.
You're absolutely right. And then I started studying the signifying monkey, and it saved my life. Do you guys know anything about the signifying monkey?
Yeah, I think we talked about it last week that would roast people and throw coconuts at them or something.
Signifying monkey is one of the greatest. It's an African, I guess, a group of tales in Africa about a signifying monkey that used to. One of these days, we'll tell a few signifying monkey stories because they're very good.
I'll have to deep dive on that at a later date. All right.
You should like it. And signifying became, in America, when guys would get together on a street corner and start, bad-mouthing each other. That's pretty much signifying. That's what that was.
Huh.
And it came from that story.
I'm not familiar.
Well, you're all... Oh, you know what? You should do is quit your job. Because what time are you back on the air? On television?
Like 13, 14 minutes.
13 minutes? Well,
top of the hour, I guess 19 minutes.
You should come on, and Alfonso Ribeiro is going to be on right after you. You should come on and go, what do you think of that? Oh, look at them all dancing up a storm at the same time.
I'm sure he just loves walking out on the street every day and somebody.
Oh my God, he's probably but then he looks at that car he's driving and the house he lives in, and he's like, I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
I will tell you though, Alfonso usually has an edge to him. So if the flow's not going the way he wants to, you're going to hear about it, which is hilarious.
I'll have to listen to that later. That sounds good.
What you should be on.
I'm sorry. Listen, I'm still trying to work my way into that suite after 12 years.
Oh, you are?
Here.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that if I keep putting in my time, I someday will be there like AJ and Tevin.
You haven't been to the suite yet? You haven't got the invite?
You want to I can just tell my friend, hey, you can't come anymore, and I'm taking the news guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I clearly got to put in my time. I need to earn it, and it'll be a satisfying day when that happens.
You know what's really cool for these guys if he does it? Because when we were there, I don't know, several months ago, we're sitting there, and all of a sudden the door opens. These two guys come through, and then right behind them is the owner of the Minnesota Wild. He came to say hello. How nice was that?
Wow,
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm inviting all celebrities that may be in attendance. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but feel free to drop by the Tevin and AJ suite for the day and watch the
AJ suite.
Yeah, there you have it right there.
Hey, take over. Act like you belong there. That's what I always say.
The one thing I would say,
our names on it.
one thing I would say about him though is the poor guy. He just doesn't stack up to his wife because he's only worth like $3 billion, and his wife is worth I think $7 billion.
Oh dang!
So
Yeah, there's got to be like a richpeoplemeet.com or something. How do you just bumping into each other, Marion? Yeah.
He's a great guy, actually. He's a very, very nice
Why
guy.
couldn't I got on that website?
He said, why don't we go on it right now?
I love you, honey. I love my wife, but she's not rich. That's
Doesn't have $7 billion. All right, pals. We will talk to you, Chris, on, tomorrow we'll talk to you, as a matter of fact.
See you guys tomorrow. Have
Thanks
a good
a
rest of your day.
Channel 5's Chris Egert is brought to you by Mr. Money Talk Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation, 952-925-5608. He's taught me a number of things about it, and he'll do the same for you. A free 48-minute evaluation, 952-925-5608. We shall take a break and be right back. Alfonso Ribeiro. Is that how he says it on TV?
It should be how he says it.
Yeah.
I think it is how he says it. And now, at AFV, Alfonso Ribeiro.
It sounds like you're introducing Zorro.
It does. Come out with a sword.
Right.
What's the Princess Bride? My name is Miguel Montoya.
You killed my family.
You
I'm
killed
here
my father, and now I'm here to avenge his death.
We just butchered that, but I know what
All-time
you're saying.
movie, though. Great movie.
You're here to avenge. Nothing wrong with that. We shall take a break. Be right back in a couple minutes. A little schmoozing, and then Alfonso will join us at about 8:50 this morning. Looking forward to that. The Tom Barnard Podcast is a sweet way to treat your sweetheart. A $25 gift certificate to Grand Old Creamery is on sale this week for half price. That's $25 of super premium ice cream for only $12.50. Get your favorite flavor from their 32 flavors to choose from at the store anytime. Certificates are in limited supply, so get yours now. Then redeem them at either of the two Grand Old Creamery locations, one on Grand Avenue. I've told you before, we went there we went there about 3 times a week for the entire college careers of my kids. The Grand Avenue one in St. Paul, or the Cedar Avenue one in Minneapolis, the one we go to now. Grand Old Creamery also offers malts and shakes, cakes, plus pints and quarts of ice cream to take home. And, of course, try their famous sweet-smelling homemade hand-rolled malted waffle cones because they put a Whopper in the bottom. It's really a sweet way to treat your sweetheart. So, act now to get your $25 Grand Old Creamery voucher for only $12.50. Visit TomBernardShow.com and enter keyword DEAL to get yours while they last. That's TomBernardShow.com, keyword DEAL.
Hi guys, it's Chris Egert from Channel 5 Morning News, along with my friends Megan Newquist and Ken Barlow. In the morning, we pride ourselves on sharing people's stories. I've been lucky enough to be part of this 5 Eyewitness News morning team for more than a decade now. This is where I've raised my kids and working alongside my friends for all these years. We're like a family too.
We are family, Chris. Working with you and Ken and Hannah, it is such an honor to help folks start their day every morning on Channel 5. We get to catch people up on the news that's happening, and Hannah is here to keep an eye on the traffic around town.
And when it comes to weather, I know people rely on me to plan their day and get their family out the door. Over the last 10 years, there were so many memories and so many laughs. I just love sharing the forecast alongside you guys.
I feel the same way, Ken. To all you who start your day with us here on Channel 5, we think of you as family too. Thanks for turning on 5 Eyewitness News in the mornings.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, President and Chief Lending Officer at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Michael Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a locally owned and operated community bank, we work with many multi-generational businesses.
Take Personal Care Dentistry of Roseville, for example. Dr. Walter Hunt, also known as Painless to me, has been a longtime customer of the bank since we opened the bank in 1998.
When his son Kyle was ready to join the practice, they wanted to expand quickly.
With their additional space and equipment, they now are able to see more patients each day while providing the same level of care and service.
Okay, guys, I'll take it from here. If you run a family business or any kind of business for that matter, you should be banking with Brad and Mike over at North American Banking Company. Every time I deal with them or their team, I know I'm working with experienced professional bankers. So why not bank? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I have to take the blame for this, but I blame Andy more than myself. About 2 weeks ago, I had never had a Pop-Tart in my life. Never had one. So Andy said, you got to try a Pop-Tart, and I'll do a little video because the listeners are asking, what's this going to be all about? So just a few weeks ago, I on camera, I ate a Pop-Tart and really, really liked it. But apparently it upset the universe because many people hope they leave this life having accomplished something, and this man definitely did that. This past Saturday, Bill Post passed away at the age of 96. The guy who invented Pop-Tarts died 2 weeks after I had my very first Pop-Tart.
He couldn't take it. He's like, if Tom's done it, he's eaten my Pop-Tarts, I've made it in this life, I can die a happy man.
His end goal was fulfilled. There was no more he could achieve.
No, that was it. 96, I can die now because Tom's had a Pop-Tart. What a weird coincidence that is, isn't it?
Yeah, that is a weird coincidence.
No, is he part of the Post?
We also have Mr. Ribeiro on the phone whenever you.
Well, Alfonso Ribeiro's with us. How you doing, sir?
Good. How are you?
Well, Alfonso, I kind of feel guilty. I killed off Bill Post at 96, the inventor of Pop-Tarts, because I'd never had one. So then I ate one on camera, and they posted it, and 14 days later, the guy dies. That's not good, Alfonso.
That's a bad thing. I think that I'm a little weary of you watching AFE. I don't know how to handle this.
I could see that. I could see it, Alfonso. No question. Great talking to you again, sir.
You don't have to watch, but let's just get all your listeners to watch, and we'll call it even.
I will watch, but I won't reveal it to anyone just in case I would jinx things.
Right on.
I have loved that show from day one, no question about it. New season of America's Funniest Home Videos, or America's Funniest Videos, I should say, Sundays at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock Central on ABC. Ribeiro began his career as a child actor. Of course, we remember that. Broadway, playing the lead role, Antonio. This goes on and on. If I start talking about your accomplishments, we'll never be able to talk to you, so I better cut back.
Well, thank you.
How have you been, pal?
Listen, if you've been doing something for 44 years, it better be a long list.
Yeah, that's true. No, you're absolutely right. There's no question about that. But I love the show. I've always loved the show, no question about it. And you do look like you're having a lot of fun.
I'm having a blast. I'm living my best life right now. There's no question. The reality that I get to continue to do this 44 years into my career, and this is my 9th season hosting AFE, and I'm just loving. I'm loving every minute of it, and I feel so blessed that I get to, continue to laugh. Right? I'm making other people laugh, but I also get to laugh. I get to laugh every day I go to work and looking at these videos, and my kids, they come and they hang out with me and they watch the videos, with me, and we laugh together, and it's just. Listen, it couldn't be better. It just really couldn't, and I feel so blessed. But but it's not because of me. It's because America keeps sending in these great, funny videos, and we get to keep sharing them with the world. So, thank you, America, for continuing to send in such great videos.
So that is terrific. Because my next question was going to be, how do you get so many phenomenal videos? And you just told me before I even asked.
Well, you know what? It's really kind of cool because there's an app now that AFE has where, guess what? The app is on your phone. Where are your videos? Ooh, they're on your phone. All you have to do is hit share, and boom, it comes to us. So we've made it really simple between that and emailing videos, to be able to send it to us at abc.com. And it's just easy. You can send your videos, and it's people have figured out that it's more fun to see it on TV than to just watch it on their phones.
Alfonso, when I saw you were going to be on the show today, I tried to think back because I've watched this show for many, many years. No question about it. And I was trying to think back what my favorite video of all time might be, but there are a lot to choose from, so I cannot make a choice of them. This is my absolute favorite video I ever saw on AFV. I'd probably have like a top 25 or 50, something like that.
Okay.
I mean, that's a good thing.
Videos that you remember.
Oh, I remember a lot. I mean, going way back. The ones I really love, Alfonso, is when little kids are doing things they're not supposed to be doing.
Absolutely.
It's true, isn't it? Don't you love those?
It's the best. Listen, kids are adorable. They're so much fun because, you know, there's that, you know, from the mouth of babes, right? Like, it's just, kids are pure. And when they do things, sometimes the innocence of what they're doing or the naughtiness of what they're doing is it's just so good. It's so good.
My favorite maybe of all time, and I can't remember how long ago it was, but there was probably about a 3-year-old. He's probably 3.5, maybe 4 years old. And his mom comes up to him and goes, you know, I was looking for the chocolate bar that was up in the cupboard, and I can't find it. Have you seen it? They spin the camera around and look at the kid. This kid has chocolate all around his mouth. I mean, it's covered with chocolate. He goes, no, Mom, I haven't seen your chocolate bar.
Nope.
Nope, I haven't seen it.
You know what? That kid was being literal. He was being literal. He has not seen it in forever. But he tasted it. He didn't look at it when he ate it, but he ate it.
Those little kids that make stuff up as they go along on your show, man, those videos I love little kid videos like that. The innocence and the skullduggery involved in all of it. I love it.
Yeah, you know, look, we're so blessed that we get to keep doing this, and we get, you know, ABC still loves us on there, and our slot at 7, 6 Central on Sunday nights is such a unique spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, like, you know, 8 o'clock, it's starting to be like, well, are we putting the kids to bed? Are we not? And
right.
You know, and so every other night of the week, there isn't a 7 o'clock slot, right? But it is on Sunday nights, and so we're in that perfect little, you know, spot where kids haven't gone to bed yet, but the adults are still wanting to have some time with their kids before they put them to bed. And this show just fits perfectly into that. And, you know, I hear from parents all the time going, you know, we just love, like, that is our beginning of the week, getting ready for our week ritual, right? We watch AFB, we do baths, we put the kids to bed, and then it's great, right? And so it's kind of cool to be able to, you know, continue that and continue, you know, making it so that families can be together and laugh together and enjoy time together before they start the week.
Alfonso, how many years ago did the show actually start? It's got to be, 30 years ago or something?
So they're in their 34th season.
34 years ago.
Yeah. So it's been a minute.
So the reason I asked you that is, of course, I've been watching since day one, but I got to believe before, you know, the internet came along and all the rest of it, and that was probably about the same time, actually. But as it went along and all the stuff you could find on the internet got better and better and better, did your people just discover more and more and more things? People sent in more things. I mean, a lot of it has to do, I'm sure, with not really artificial intelligence, but, you know, the internet, no question.
Well, I mean, look, it's the internet has created a much simpler way of navigating, getting us the videos, right? Like, you know, before you had to get your VCR tape, you took it, you put it in an envelope, you put it in the mail, you sent it, we got it, it took forever, right? Now it is literally instant, right? You have your email, you can go to your phone, you hit the email, you send the video. We have an app. We have an AFB app that you can have on your phone where you can watch videos and all of that. But it also connects right to your camera log where you can just send videos to us. And it just makes things so much more simple. Yeah. And we get, you know, a ton more videos than they used to get because of the fact that it's, you know, it's so simple. It's so easy. It's so easy to get it to us. And so the internet has certainly helped us in that way. And look, you can also say, you know, AFB was kind of the beginning of YouTube, right, where you're watching clips.
Yeah, yep.
And all of these social channels where you're watching little clips. You know, this was the beginning of that, right? And so people are used to watching things in small doses. Well, that's our show. And so you can come and watch, you know, as many videos as you want for as long as you want. And it's in, you know, small doses. And it still works, right? It's still something that people want to see. They, you know, people try to recreate the show constantly, but for some reason, it never has the same success as AFV does. And I think part of that is because of the history of the show. I think we've got great producers and writers that know exactly how to put these together, and it just seems to work. And people know where to go to see great videos.
You know, over the years, from the first day and talking to all different people, you know, Bergeron and everybody else, I have never asked this question. This is probably about the 10th or probably 9th or 10th time I've talked to you personally.
Right.
How many videos do you guys get per year where you go, man, that is hilarious, but we cannot show that on national television?
Oh, we get a lot more videos like that than we can show. I think that however many videos we show, we get a lot more than we can. You know, sometimes it's, you know, you want to say to people, you really shared all of that, huh? Okay, all right. Put that in the world to see. You do your thing. You do your thing. I'm not in your business. I'm in your house, but you go ahead. So yeah, we get a few more that yes, that we should be showing.
Well, I don't know if you should be, but I'd love to see it. Someday if you put it together a package and maybe do a couple hours on the things you shouldn't have seen on AFV.
Yeah, well, AFV After Dark.
AFV After Dark. There you go.
A lot of them.
There's no question.
Say it again?
I was saying you do a little AFV After Dark special, yeah.
Yes, well, they tried that actually, and it unfortunately didn't work.
Really?
Because, the kids were like, I don't want to see After Dark.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. That's a very good point, actually, because I have a son who was, when the show first started all those years ago, he was like 3 years old. My daughter was 1. So my children, Andy and Alex, they don't know a world that didn't have AFV. So for them, it's a very special Sunday night thing to do. And looking back at it, I guess I just realized that for the first time today, that AFV came along exactly the same time my children were born. So they've never known a world without AFV.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. That's great. I love it.
It is, no question. Alfonso, you got to come to town sometime and come in the studio. You got to do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Would love to.
All right, sir. Well, thank you so much for your time. A new season of America's Funniest Videos, Sundays, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock Central Time. It's on ABC. I got to do it this way. Alfonso Ribeiro. There, thank you.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on again.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. No question. Yeah, I do love that show. I do. To this day, I can sit down and I could watch that every week of every year of every decade.
Yeah.
But I never thought of that until just now, that my kids have never known a world without AFV.
Yeah, I was going to say, same here. And it was always kind of one of those things where it was, you watched football on Sundays and you watched America's Funniest Home Videos and you just laughed and then you went to bed. Like that.
Yeah.
Was how it was.
And the tough part about like a show like that too is like with how long it's been on and how much just how everything kind of goes. You get that cult following almost similar to like Jeopardy with Alex Trebek or like Price is Right with Bob Barker. It's hard to shift from the original host to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Bergeron was like the guy that I remember growing up. Alfonso was like the perfect replacement. He's got the same energy. He's got that kind of bubbliness about him. He's charismatic. He's good on the microphone. I mean, a transition like that, and he's been picking it up, and now he said he's nearing 10 years. I said I think he said this was his 9th year as a host since taking over. So I mean, clearly he's got the right stuff.
Tom Bergeron has an edge to him that most people don't know about.
Oh, really?
Do you ever have to deal with Tom?
No.
Not a very pleasant person. If things aren't going exactly the way he wants it to, he can be a real pain in the ass. No question about it.
Which makes it more impressive that he's able to put that kind of face on the camera. Because I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that doesn't go perfectly when you're doing a show like that. And especially when you have like they have the people in studio with the kids and now they're supposed to be talking. I'm sure there's a lot of moments that don't go as scripted.
I just got a couple of emails. Apparently there is a video that was sent to every video. And I understand they can't even edit it to play it because there's no way to edit it so it would still be funny.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas morning, this little kid who's about 3 years old, he asked, "What did you ask Santa for?" And he said, and he couldn't think of what it was. And the dad goes, "This is what you asked Santa for, and here it is." It was a fire truck. Only the kid keeps going. He takes the F from fire and the UCK from truck, and he keeps saying it over and over and over again. So I guess they couldn't really run that video, if you know what I'm saying. No chance that video is going to make it on the air.
Yeah.
No, that's probably one that gets shared amongst like the company of, hey, did you guys all see this funny video we can't put on? But
they have to have some videos that will be just hilarious, but there's no way they can put them on network television.
Yeah, I bet they have that, and I bet they get a lot of scripted videos where you can tell that like the parents goaded their kids into say that one thing you always say. And,
oh no! How did Johnny learn those words?
Yeah. They fake the whole thing.
I need you to step up your acting game a little bit.
I do. To this day, I love that show. I love watching America's Funniest Videos. I have since day one. There was a year when they had a man and a woman doing it, and it sucked.
Yeah, it was Daisy Fuentes and John Fugelsang.
Yeah, exactly. Fugelsang, yeah.
I wonder why that didn't stick.
Let's see. We got Duschnozzle and Fugelsang.
Yeah, they did it for 3 years, and then they were like, you know what, let's give Tom Bergeron a crack at this.
Did they really do it for 3 years? I thought they only lasted 1 year. They did it for 3?
Yeah, it looks like it started with Bob Saget in 89. Then in 1998, those two took over. And then 2001, Tom Bergeron took over.
I really miss him. God, I miss him.
It's odd, too, because he was like the main host of Dancing with the Stars as well. And I'm sure maybe Kristen Burt has more info on this, but he's now no longer on that. Alfonso has pretty much taken that role as well.
Yeah.
Like he just kind of stepped in and picked up the ball.
Yeah, I think there was a thing with Tom Bergeron is why he left. There was some sort of scandal, I believe.
Oh, okay. I was unaware.
Oh yeah, he's not easy to get along with. I will tell you, working with him is a bitch because he's never happy. What'd you find?
He had something with Trump related. It looks like
Trump related.
Did something in 2020 and he was dismissed after being publicly critical of the show's choice to cast Donald Trump's White House press secretary, Sean Spicer.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that. Yeah, for Dancing with the Stars or whatever that was.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, somebody please explain this to me again. Whether it's Democrat or Republican, I probably for the rest of my life will be solidly in the center because I just can't take much more of it. Because both parties, if you don't believe everything that I believe, then I should destroy you. It's like, what? We have had very, very different lives. I don't understand that not everybody had a life like you where mom kissed your ass at high noon and dad gave you a car when you were 16. We didn't all grow up like that. We have different views of how the world is. So we're not going to agree whether it's far left or far right with everything you say. So why don't you grow the hell up and get your head out of your ass and stop treating people like crap because they don't show your political views.
Right. And in Tom Bergeron's case, I don't necessarily feel too bad for him when you go on air or publicly and you just trash your employer and then you get fired. Well, makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah.
You know that damn Ginny Hubbard, I'll tell you something right now.
Before you say anything, I might cut to a break.
He might just cut away. I adore that woman. You know that. Oh, yeah. We'll take a break. Be right back in a couple of minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Some more news. And then coming up in just about 10, 11 minutes, we've got Kristen Burt, too. We'll be right back. February is the month for love. When is the last time you gave your carpet the love and attention it really deserves? Have you gotten down on your hands and knees and adored how clean and refreshed it was? Or are you scared what you might see or smell maybe? Not only is your carpet one of the biggest investments in your home, but it's also the biggest air filter in your house. Lucky for you, Zero Res is going to spread the love to you and your home with their Love Your Rug special. Get 3 rooms, Zero Resified, starting at just $119 and a free hallway. Don't forget dirt and dander's favorite hiding place, your air ducts. This month, take $75 off when you get your air ducts Zero Res clean. Call Zero Res right now, 952-ZERO-RES, 952-ZEROREZ, or go online at zeroresminnesota.com and say you want the Tom Barnard Show special. Protect your employees and customers by getting your business Zero Resified by the pros at Zero Res. Call today for your commercial cleaning estimate. Spell it forward or backward. It spells the same. zero res.
This is Bob Sansevier, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialki from Bialki Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialki Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkilaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
Have you enjoyed Minnesota's non-winter this year? Want to enjoy the warmth whenever you want? Two Minnesotans can help you live that dream. Matt Carlson from Realty One Group Destination Key West grew up in Litchfield, Minnesota, started out helping his friends find homes locally and in Florida, and now he can help you. If you've considered living in the warmth of Florida, now is the time to reach out to your new friend in Realty, Matt Carlson. It's a buyer's market now, and your Minnesotan friend Matt can help you with a new home here or in the Florida Keys. And if you need some guidance with financing, Kristen Eklund from Coast to Coast Mortgage can help. Kristen is Matt's preferred lender, can finance anywhere in Florida, and like Matt is one of us, as she hails from the Sartell, Alexandria area. So if you're looking at a new home in Minnesota, or maybe that second home or retirement place in Florida, trust your new local friends. Contact Matt and Kristen. Visit onekeywest.com. That's onekeywest.com, or call Matt at 612-791-2345, 612-791-2345, and work with local professionals you can trust.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. God, I was just catching. Have you seen this Kristen Stewart story this morning?
Oh, no. What's going on?
Holy Hannah. I'm going to read this literally, so don't be blaming me for what she said, is all I'm saying. Kristen Stewart posed for the cover of Rolling Stone magazine wearing nothing but an open leather vest and a jock strap that, along with her mullet, makes a pretty strong statement. What is that statement? Kristen tells the magazine, quote, "I want to do the gayest effing thing you've ever seen in your life. If I could grow a little mustache, if I grow an effing happy trail and unbutton my pants, I would." In the cover story, Kristen talks about starting a family with her fiancé, Dylan Meyer, and it sounds like she's serious about it. "I don't know what my family's going to do, but there's no effing way that I don't start acquiring kids." Acquiring kids? Okay.
You kidnapping them?
I really want that to happen. What is wrong with this woman?
That's a lot. That's a lot to unpack. What
really? Yes, I would say so.
What prompted this? What is?
I don't know. She just all of a sudden decided she wanted to be on the cover of the Rolling Stone, and she wanted to make a statement. Apparently, I don't really understand how, because you have short hair, a mullet, and you're wearing a vest and whatever the hell else. How is that the gayest effing thing you've ever seen? How is it gay in any way? Everybody knows she's a woman. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's bizarre. There's like
weird.
There are a lot of people in the LGBT community running around in jock straps that I'm on the with. Like
I don't know. But I just read that literally word for word, so don't be blaming me. I didn't make anything up there. I just don't understand. How is it that people just cannot get over sex things, skin color things, religious things? We're all different. Relax. It's fine, right?
Yeah, and I don't know. There's just something about like, I don't get why what are you trying to do the gayest thing that you can think of? That's always weird when, like, okay, you're associating that with jockstrap with being gay. It's like if you're going to do the blackest thing I can think of, you're going to go on the cover of Rolling Stone and eat like watermelon and drink grape soda. Is that what we're doing?
You just reminded me of my childhood right there. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Like,
Grape soda and watermelon, baby.
It's just get over yourself. Take a picture for the Rolling Stone and call it a day.
You know, I do think that's the best way to put it. Would you just get over yourself, for God's sake? Calm down.
Yeah, it's. Oh, and I guess she did it for her new, according to this article, her new queer thriller film, Love Lies Bleeding.
So she did it to make money.
It's a promotional thing. She doesn't actually care. Yeah, it's probably a promotional thing, it looks like.
Oh, so they made it sound like she cared.
I mean, I should say she probably cares a little bit, but it's also a promotion for her film, not just because she wanted to do it.
Yeah, so it sounds like so she landed the Rolling Stone cover and told the outlet that she wanted to do the gayest effing thing you've ever seen in your life for like the cover picture.
Right.
To help promote it. And so maybe, it sounds like it's a marketing thing because frankly, now we're talking about it and I had not heard of this film before this. So maybe I guess it worked.
And she said, like, for doing like the gayest thing ever, growing a mustache and a happy trail and unbuttoning her pants, it seems more like truck driver-ish, not necessarily like the gay community. Like I don't
get it either. I just don't understand what the straightest thing would be, what the gayest thing would be, what the bi thing would be. I don't have a clue. Live your life, be happy, right?
Yeah.
There you have it.
Yeah, it sounds like it's also kind of going back to her days doing the Twilight movies because she said she was never asked to do like the Rolling Stone cover because it was the guys Edward Pattinson and Taylor Lautner that were like seen as like the sex symbols of that.
Oh, okay.
And so she's like, and that's where she's like, I wanted to do it. If I could grow a mustache and this other stuff so I could, be on the cover, I would have. And so it kind of sounds like she wanted to have some artistic freedom with like going on there and just doing her own thing.
It's interesting. There's no picture of her on this. I could not pick her out of a crowd. I know her name, but I don't remember what she looks like.
Yeah, until they showed the picture, like, so that I'm looking at a picture of her now, and I was like, I've never seen this girl a day in my life. And then when it mentioned Twilight, and I scrolled down, like, oh, it's the girl from Twilight.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's about as much as I know about her.
I guess it's just an interesting approach. That's all I'm saying, right?
Yeah, live your life, but it feels like a privileged rich actor or actress crying about something that maybe they don't actually should be crying about.
Well, we'll go right to the source. We'll take a very quick break. Be right back in a couple of minutes. The answer to all of this is Kristen Burt. Be right back. When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
Is that text you're sending so important that you miss your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com.
Going farther with my Bryant on your side. Justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
The Tom Barnard Show is proud to have partners like North American Banking Company, Bradshaw and Bryant, and attorney and advertiser Dave Bielke.
I've been advertising on Tom Barnard shows for years. I like Tom, not just because he's a good guy, but because the ads I run on his show bring me new clients that are hurt at work and need legal help. Tommy B worked for me.
If you'd like to find out more about growing your business with the Tom Barnard Show, go to tombarnardshow.com, keyword partner. You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen, in the Kristen Stewart of the show. Now joining us, Kristen Burt. Ladies and gentlemen, Kristen Burt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Kristen Burt, what the hell is she talking about?
Kristen Stewart. Well, first of all, I just want to say she was nominated for an Oscar just 2 years ago for Spencer. So some people may remember she the Princess Diana movie. Yeah. She's still out there and everything. But Rolling Stone has always been provocative.
Yeah,
to
that's
me,
true.
This is
that's
just
true.
provocative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the way I totally look at it. And I think I don't think anyone blinked at this until Meta started banning the cover on social media. And I don't think we would have heard about this at all, to be honest.
So the story just came. She said, I want to look the gayest I possibly could, is what she said. And I don't understand what the hell that means. What do you mean the gay? You know, I never noticed that all gay people look the same. Have you ever noticed that? Because I had never noticed that.
They don't.
It's like, what the hell?
I think maybe to the cover, it's a pretty hot cover. I think that it looks attractive to men and women. I think that's probably what she thought.
There you have it. All right. I don't know whether to adore you and thank you or hate your guts forever.
Oh.
We finished that show last night.
Griselda?
You got it.
Yes.
Oh my God. Every episode, it got worse and worse. I don't mean bad.
Oh.
I'm talking about the behavior.
Right.
Holy God.
The crazy part is that this is a true story.
It
That's
is.
what makes
It's a true
it
story.
even wilder when you realize how gritty real life can actually be.
I didn't know this, but there was a show after that, after she was murdered, that her son, Michael Corleone Blanco, was on. It was called, it was on VH1. What the hell was it called? Something about drug dealing or whatever. But the real Michael Corleone Blanco was on that show with his wife and all. I could watch about 10 minutes of it. It's like, you people are insane. Every woman appeared on the show is just stunningly beautiful, except for the fact that from head to toe, they're tattooed. And I mean every square inch of their body. I don't like that.
Tells a story. Mm-hmm. That's what tattoos do for a lot of people.
I guess. So, Tevin, were you looking it up?
It looks like it's Cartel Crew on
Cartel
VH1.
Crew, that's it.
Oh,
Yep.
I've never heard of that. I'm taking it was
either.
a reality show.
It lasted like 2 seasons, though.
Yeah, and I believe the episode you're talking about with this Michael Corleone Blanco is in season 1 at some point.
Yes, I think it's the very first episode. I mean, it's probably interesting to watch, but I'm going to have to get over the fact that these people, everybody on that show is nuts.
It's something to be a part of the mob. I mean, I watch the movies sometimes, whether it's a TV show or a movie about the mob, and you sit there and go, yeah, okay. And then you realize this is actual real life. And I mean, even a part of New York City, when I lived there, was completely run by the mob, but you don't run into them. They're not a part of your daily life unless you start to meet the players. Like if you were hanging out in Little Italy, or they control the Jacob Javits Center, which is a convention center in New York City.
Yep.
That's where you start really meeting players, and it's a fascinating way of life. And I think that's why Hollywood constantly revisits it, because there's no shortage of stories.
Well, it's amazing to me that you'd want to be involved with that if you're Michael Corleone Blanco, because every single member of your family, every one of them was murdered because of that business. Why would you want to jump into that business knowing that every one of your relatives is dead?
I mean, what else are you gonna do? There you're kind of born into it. You're like, I got to get this money somehow, and
I'm going to be a barista at Starbucks. I mean, that's not going to happen. But I do think like you go with what you know, honestly, in that type of situation, and you understand that death could be part of the equation, but also money, access, power, women. I mean, there's a lot of things that I think are attractive too for people who are in the mob.
I suppose. But if you were Al Pacino, wouldn't you be sitting at home going, why do you have to use my name? I mean, think about that. It's like, why do you have to be Michael Corleone Blanco, which is his real name, by the way? I don't really, that whole thing makes me very, well, I suppose there was drug dealing in North Minneapolis. I never got real close to it. You'd see it like in the back alleys and between houses and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, Brad Blanks wanted me to drive him through my old neighborhood. We went at about 3 blocks and he went, Tom, why don't we turn around and leave? I went, you got it.
That's it. I'm good. I saw enough.
I saw enough of it all. But I don't know if I could watch this. What's it called again, Tevin?
Cartel Crew.
Cartel Crew. I just think it might be just too intense and too sad to watch. You know?
Well, if it's a reality show, it's going to show the more glamorous side of
True. Yeah.
the mob, and the cars they drive, the jewelry they wear, the parties that they go to, and I think that's what continually glamorizes the mob and what makes people fascinated by it.
What I don't understand is everybody on the show was born and raised in Miami, and they all have Spanish accents. It's like, why do you have an accent?
Well, they probably there's communities. I mean, there's communities down there where they only speak Spanish, and they're probably running in circles.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they're not interacting with Americans on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, in Miami especially. Besides it being a very international city, I would say that Spanish is probably spoken more than English in Miami.
The one thing they said on that show, Cartel Crew, that made me laugh, it was Michael Corleone Blanco that said it. Yeah, you have to understand something. Before the drug trade started in Miami was a shithole. There was nothing here. It was boring. It was a shithole. I'm like, what are you talking about? I kind of remember when I was a little baby boy, people like Jackie Gleason would take a train full of people down to Miami because he loved the city so much he started doing his shows from there. So let's not try to pretend it was a one-horse town before the drug trade began.
Tell them to go back into South Beach, because I went in November and it was not nice.
Really?
Yeah. The neighborhoods have shifted. My brother's in Brickell and it's gorgeous.
Oh, okay.
But South Beach, which was even just 10 years ago, I mean, that is where everyone went and partied and vacationed. I was like, whoa, this looks like a mess. So when people always say Los Angeles is a mess or San Francisco is a mess, I'm like, has anyone taken a look at South Beach?
That
Same
was
thing.
Gorgeous. When I used to go down there, when I lived in Jacksonville, I'd go down there once in a while just to hang out. That beautiful architecture, that old Spanish architecture, is it all gone now?
Well, what's the famous hotel that was there? And it's an Art Deco hotel right on the beach.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know.
It's been under construction, I guess, for 4 or 5 years because they were going to renovate it. It is like nothing's happening with it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And I spent many a drunken night at that particular hotel. I have the photos to prove it.
Full disclosure.
They come up every single year, on the anniversary of my big night out in Miami. And there's a photo of me sitting in a closet, drinking a Coke and eating a slice of pizza. And I always say, I still feel that hangover. It was so bad. And every bar we went to, the drinks got more and more expensive. I was with my friends. And so they'd be like, you get the next round, you get the next round. I had the last hotel. At that point, I'm like, we got 3 drinks. And I'm like, it's $500.
Oh, yeah. No question about that. I don't know. I got to be honest with you. I thought Griselda was phenomenal, beautifully acted, really well written. What were there, 6 episodes of it? 8 episodes?
I think 8.
I think there were 8. 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there. We finished it last night, and they did such a good job portraying their characters that you believed it was real. I mean, it was very convincing.
I'm super excited for Sofia Vergara because I
Yep.
mentioned this before. I feel like this opens a ton of avenues for her. I feel like she's been one of the few people from Modern Family that's really gotten pigeonholed by her particular character on that show. And it was long running. It was successful. She, got Emmy nominations. But I feel like, okay, now everyone can see that she can do drama. She's got a lot of skill behind her. And I hope that this opens more doors for her.
And what are they going to do with that gold-plated machine gun? Where did that end up? How come I didn't get it? Do you remember that part?
Yes.
It's a gold-plated machine gun.
Going to the Smithsonian.
Yeah, probably. That's probably true. Very well written, very well acted, very intense. I mean, it was so intense that even sitting in your living room watching, it's like, ooh, this is kind of creeping me out.
Yeah, Netflix has done really well with it. So I anticipate a very big Emmys campaign because, believe it or not, I know we just finished the primetime Emmys for 2023. But we are just about, I would say, 2 or 3 weeks out from the For Your Consideration for the next round of Emmys because they'll be happening September 15th for this current TV season. And I think she's going to get a huge push.
God, I'm telling you, you told me about it. We started watching it. Catherine loved it too. We're very lucky because Catherine and I, there's certain shows she watches and I watch by ourselves, but we watch 98% of stuff together and we tend to like the same kind of stuff, which is interesting.
So that's a very nice Valentine's Day show to watch together.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Very violent. My Bloody Valentine. What's going on at your house, Tom?
She lived, 8 years after they let her out of prison? I thought they would have killed her immediately.
They probably tried.
I could be, but they eventually killed her about 8 years later, 7, 8 years later, I guess. But
it's like for them, it's like they'll always find you. You could be years even out of the business. They'll always find you. That's what I've learned from watching mob movies.
There's no question about it. And I'll say it again. Thank you, by the way, for tipping me off on Griselda. But streaming television has never been better. It's never been this good.
Well, it's nice that we have the library, too, because if you've missed something, you can go back, you can watch it. And I think because we are starting to see a slowdown of content and things coming out, this is a great opportunity to keep that list running and then just go, hey, you know what? I didn't get to see Breaking Bad or something like that. It's right there at your fingertips, which I think is the beauty of streaming television.
One thing that kind of made me sad, the first season, of The Judge, I loved. I thought the second season was terrible. The one with, what's his name, Bryan Cranston.
Breaking Bad?
Better Call Saul?
Better Call Saul. Which is that's not Bryan Cranston.
I can't remember. I thought it was called The Judge. There's no series called The Judge.
Not that I know of, but there's so much out there. I wouldn't, it's not that it doesn't exist because
Kevin's good at looking stuff up.
Justified?
No, it wasn't Justified either. I love Justified, by the way, though.
And Bryan Cranston was in it.
He was in the show. I was almost.
There's one called Your Honor.
Your Honor, that's it. And he's in
Honor.
that. And he's in that, right?
Yeah. It looks like it was 2 seasons in 2020.
There you go. So it was, Your Honor. It wasn't The Judge. It was Your Honor. First season was phenomenal. Second season was really mediocre. It was too bad.
What streaming network carried it? Do you remember?
I do not.
Looks like it's now on Pluto. You can get it on the Roku channel, Paramount TV.
Don't laugh at Pluto. I saw that. That was not very nice.
I was like, it's already at Pluto. No, my thought is oftentimes, it's usually older shows, and I'm like, it's already on Pluto, but it's on Paramount Plus, so it must have been a CBS show, is my guess.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
No question.
I have no problem with Pluto. I watch plenty of shows, but I'm like, it's usually like Beverly Hills 90210 from 1995 that I'm watching on Pluto.
Yep. It's all true.
Kristen, are we have to give up on Russell Simmons now? Have you heard any news? He's being sued for sexual assault. Do you have any insight as to what's going on?
Well, first of all, we should have given up on Russell Simmons about 10 years ago because the sexual I'm not kidding.
Yeah,
the sexual assault allegations have been following him for over a decade.
Really?
Yeah. And these extend back, the accusations extend back, at least from what I know, back into the 90s. And I was living in New York City at the time. Russell Simmons was everything in the 1990s in New York City. I mean, he ran that town and ran the music scene. And I can only imagine when you have that much power, and if you do have a dark side to you, how you're utilizing that power in the worst ways possible. You know, and it's crazy because he's continued to have a very successful career in many ways, but he's also not been living in the United States. I feel like he's been like off on his own little, like, I don't know, like yoga journey. But I feel like he's also trying to avoid a lot of the news because I think like this second wave of allegations came at the start of Me Too. And I feel like this is the third wave of allegations. There were a couple of lawsuits that got filed ahead of those victim laws that we saw, or survivor laws that we saw at the end of last year. And so this is just another one to add to the pile. And it's extensive. And I want to say it's Rolling Stone. I could be wrong, but they did a deep dive, I want to say maybe 3 or 4 years ago, about all the allegations, and they're pretty gross.
Really?
Yep.
Man. Well, I just want to thank you again for ruining 8 nights of my life.
You're welcome. I am here, and I love that you and Catherine watched like the most violent thing you possibly could on the most romantic day of the year.
Well, again, it was Auntie Kristen that pointed us in that direction, so...
I told you to watch How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. You decide to finish up your Zelda.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. So you want Catherine to get rid of me. Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not how it goes. It's a rom-com. You know rom-coms, you don't lose a guy in 10 days.
You can't judge a book by its cover.
Yep.
Or
That's
a movie
right.
by its title.
It's a formula, but it's really cute.
All right, we'll give it a whirl. Any new great things we should know about on the way out here?
Just, you know, I've been like just trying to let everyone know because a lot of shows are coming back. Finally, after the strike, Tonight Ghosts, Young Sheldon, that returns to CBS. And there's a new show on Netflix that I'm going to take a look at, the Vince Staples Show. You may be familiar with Vince Staples because he played on Abbott Elementary. He played Janine's like deadbeat boyfriend.
Yep.
So this is kind of like a heightened version of like who he is. He plays himself in the show, but of course, you know, it's kind of like a satirical look at his life. So I'm going to go and check it out. I think it's 5 episodes in total, but he was funny on Abbott Elementary.
All right. So is he a descendant of the Staples singers, the 2 women?
I don't know who the Staples singers are. I only know the Staples Center here in Los Angeles, which is now crypto.com.
Respect yourself. Yeah. Just remember to respect yourself by the Staples singers. They're phenomenal. The Staples sisters.
Yeah, I don't know if he's a descendant of them, but he is a musician and singer as well.
So it might be related. Oh, Respect Yourself is one of the greatest songs ever sung. No question. All right,
How does
Pallies.
it go? Are you going to sing it for us?
I can do Respect Yourself. Respect Yourself. Oh, God, it's a wonderful song.
I love it.
If you
I'm singing this out.
I'm telling you, and they start rapping in it. First only rap song I ever. Well, she's just talking. She's not really rapping, but talking about.
You can admit it. You like a rap song.
I hate everything about rap. There's no. Although I did like Signify and Monkey. I did like that one. That was a good one. You know, do you even know that one?
I didn't know it was a song.
Because of its title, it didn't get released anywhere because people were. It's about a real monkey, you dumbass. Like, Jesus, settle down. All right, get off my screen, all of you. That's all I have to say.
See you tomorrow.
Talk to you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Kristen Burt, Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. The family show is up in about 15 minutes.